Alright, that's too much is going on, and life is still boring even though a lot's going on because a lot of it's nonsense. I think I'm going to stay on a roll with my older video, well, at least my most recent ones. Feminism has to quit. That movement has to quit. It's disgusting how really when Obama really made homosexuality a big note, and 2015, 16, 17, 18, how you're not allowed to say anything bad about homosexuality. That lifestyle is off limits to talk negative about, even though it was being pushed down everybody's throats, being shoved in everybody's faces. Even the White House itself was lit up like, god dang. Everybody has their opinion about something or another, one way or the other. But it was forced on Americans, like, you accept it or we're gonna call you names, politically slander you and get away with it. You know, forget the law of the fact that you could sue for defamation of character. That was stripped from you. You know, your life, liberty, and pursuit to happiness was stripped because you just have to do what you're told. If homosexuals would just, take their lifestyle and live their lifestyle without trying to shove it down somebody else's life, hey, go about your life and be happy, right? Sure, go about your life and be happy. Don't quit pushing it on people that aren't. Quit trying to make everybody who doesn't live your lifestyle your lifestyle. That's a big reason why Christianity is hated, especially by homosexuals. But even though it just became an oxymoron because the fact that it's hypocritical speech at this point. A religion says do what I say or you're going to hell. A religion says, you're going to follow my way of life or else, like it's back in the Crusades. And people that live a homosexual lifestyle do that. Christian religion set a precedence here in the United States to do that. But I would like it if homosexuality would stop trying to oppress people and try to force everybody to be sympathetic to their cause when that ain't right. You can't force somebody to do something they don't want to. And now, the same line of being protected, being guarded, being politically protected, being slandered if you don't agree with the role of how this force of society is going. And now you got the transgender movement and you got the feminine movement being protected as well. I call the both of those. I mean, all this that I'm talking about even today is population control. Well, Mr. Andrew wants to call it the Matrix. I'm kind of in agreement with him. I feel how he can see that. I think I've called that a long time ago. Just I forgot it until I saw a few of those videos of his, and he started calling it out as it is, and it's just the United States government has become nothing but a fantasy storybook about do what you're told. Since Biden wants to be in bed with the Chinese, and he's got his nose so far up the Chinese, up their backside, man. He's got to wipe his nose as well as he's got to have his hind end wiped because he's got a puppet from the FBI up his hind end, and Xi Jinping has Biden's nose up his, so it's like one of those bad trains. It's sickening, it's gross. Do what you're told. We're gonna politically slander you. Do what you're told, or we'll block you. We're gonna take you off the internet. We're gonna make you suffer. The United States is a constitutional republic. These goofballs in office that want to turn this into a dictatorship, calling it a threat to democracy. This ain't a democracy. The United States is unique to Canada and all the other countries in Europe. Most of Europe is a democracy ran by leaders and their leaders are a form of an oligarchy of a kind. Of some sort or another, but they try and resemble some sorts of laxer freedoms for people, and they try to maneuver some laws to make it seem less of a medieval feudal times, but not much has changed. But the United States is totally different because it has a constitution that was founded that sets the precedents of laws and what for and what not. That's why the United States is not a democracy. It's actually a constitutional republic. Our government is a lot different, was founded different than any other government in Europe, except for Rome. Rome was different because Rome actually had the Senate before it had a dictator. No, it had a king before the Senate. Anyways, I'm not going back that far, whatever. I know what I'm talking about. Different branches to handle different branches of government to handle different issues within the government. And for the people that take care of things. But Joe Biden wants all that for himself. And that's just not going to work. Do what you're told. It's not going to work for most people. Nobody that was born before 1995 is going to openly or willingly accept, not in their hearts, not in their minds. They might have to act like they appeal to what's going on, but honestly, I'm going to tell you that in their heart of hearts and their soul and their mind, they know that this horse crap is wrong. It's wrong because it's being forced. And I'm glad I have the time to just take my time and say that. It's being forced is why it's wrong. If it came natural, it should be natural then. It should not be forced. Nothing should be forced. If people want it, they go for it. If people see something lucrative in it, they go for it usually. I mean, if it's a way of a lifestyle of somebody that they chose, I'm not going to badger them for it. Even if I don't like it, if it doesn't fit for my life and I don't like it, I'm not going to badger them for it. It's when they try to shove it on somebody else. That's the problem, especially when they're making it a problem for everybody else who's not like them, and they were not the original ones there. They're pretenders sitting up trying to be great when they're... Let's take the other point. How come you're not supported for being straight? I'm not even going to bring race into this. How come you're not supported for being straight, but you're supported by the government and everything else for being gay or transgender or a feminist? Those are causing problems for straight people. No, you're not. You don't know what you're talking about. I kind of do know what I'm talking about. And we'll break it down, too. I mean, how come being straight's not being protected? They're trying to force everybody straight to be single and miserable. You go against the women's rights movement. Oh, you're a sexist. You're a misogynist. Okay, just another name label. Just another stupid name label. Because that's nothing more again but population control. How women act, how women are, how they just treat men like total dog crap. You work out, you do your best, you've done your best, you do all you know how to do, you focus on yourself, you build up your own money, you get a new vehicle, you take care of yourself, you do everything as a man, but you're not good enough. Oh, you gotta be making... Well, a woman sits down and says, you need to be making, like, whatever the figures would be, like, you gotta be making, like, $25 an hour plus. I mean, most grocery managers are making $15, $16 an hour, and that's only, like, $40K. Shoot, I mean, these poor fools in the military, when they're in there, man, you don't make $40K unless you've been in for 12 years, I think. Jeez. 10 to 12 years. And also depending on if you went in NCO or captain, or I mean, you went in officer or not, or enlisted, you're not looked at You're not given the time of day. You're not given. You're not congratulated. I told my foreman yesterday, not yesterday, it was the day before, maybe, I think, whatever it was. We were having a discussion about kind of how disgusting the job gets sometimes with people's attitudes. And I said, good work needs to be praised. When you do a good job, it should be praised. It needs to be praised because it's like this. If you don't praise good work, if you don't praise the people that do good things, I mean, you don't have to pay them all the time, but if you give them attaboys, a little bit of praise here and there, hey man, that's freaking awesome. That's a damn good job. Hell yeah. It needs to be praised because, I mean, when people, do things that are great, a really good job, they deserve a little extra sometimes, especially when they're covering the other ends that, may not be seen or whatever. They pay attention to detail. If a good job can't be praised, people are going to stop doing good jobs. And you're expected to be a traditional man, be strong, be this, be that, do this, do that. And supposed to be making all kinds of money and this and that, but it's not good enough. You're not even looked at. You're not even a pick. You're not even thought about. It's disgusting. Like, they only want to look at the feminine movement for one thing, and I don't see anywhere else in history have we looked at a movement for one aspect of the kind of good it brings for one individual, but these folks that want to call men misogynistic aren't even looking at the full aspect or the full spectrum of it. They're just slandering people who want to step against it, and they don't even want to hear the other side of the argument. It's just like when you said homosexuality wasn't that great, and they said, you're a homophobe. Then they didn't even want to hear the argument. They just started screaming as loud as they can. It needs to stop. I said back in 2011 to my brother when we were in Puerto Rico, if the CIA and FBI ever came against this country, we'd be screwed. And to me, it seems like they really have. The CIA has played a nasty role of evil psychosis on the people of the United States by forcing these three agendas into being prominent. And the FBI taking over control of pretty much the underbelly of the United States through the government, forcing things to happen. The CIA comes out with is the mastermind. They come up with the nonsense. The FBI backs it up. I don't know who's running the show, but I'm very serious. It needs to stop. People should really see and actually hear the argument. Why it's bad, why it's not good, why it doesn't fit for everybody. And not everybody is a misogynistic or homophobe that doesn't like these things. They need to actually be heard with a fair argument, with You know, if you want people to hear that these things are good for people, the people that don't like it also need to be heard. We need to have civil conversations. It's easy as that. It's simple as that. You should stop forcing things on people. That's really about it. Thanks.